Hello, my name is Lax Gopisetty. I am President and CEO of Infosys Public Services. And here I am today with Andrew Randall, Senior Vice President and Head of Public Services Solutions from Salesforce, a great partner for us. And today we are going to touch upon the Agentforce and AI interventions and evolutions in public sector. Thank you, Andrew, for joining me in this conversation.
Thank you, Lax, for having me.
I feel that today we are in a race between humans and machines, which started quite a few decades back. Given what computational power with AI is moving into, how we digitize the world from a human perspective. But today the machines are trying to humanize themselves to get ahead of us. If I expand this thought process, I feel potentially a singularity coming in the situation. What are your thoughts about how far are we from that, and where do you think this race will evolve in next few years?
I really like to see as AI as augmented intelligence. It helps humans do things that they're not really great at doing. I really just think that what AI is going to enable us to do is to be more efficient, more productive, and allow humans to do what humans are really good at. And that's with connecting with people, connecting with each other, connecting with the world. So that's how I see, AI. I don't think we're competing. I think it's going to enhance us. It's going to augment our capability.
A lot of smart machines are being built.
Yeah.
Now the operational technologies are becoming smarter. Sensors talking to each other, machines talking to each other. They are creating influences and context-based decision-making. Where do you think this context-based machine-to-machine, sensor-to-sensor conversations, exchange of data and information happening to where people are, how do people consume into that ecosystem, the smarter and the digital ecosystem?
So things around being able to say evidence management. And you had to be able to search through thousands, maybe hundreds of different files, videos. Well, what happened? You just be able to quickly ask it and interact with it through just your voice. Just be able to ask a question, like we're sitting here talking right now. Say, I need all the information, all the cameras at the location in the front office, right? In the front of the building. From 1 p.m. to 2 p.m. today. And then it pulls it back from me. So it's going to be a lot, how we're going to interact with AI is going to be how we interact with people. So it's going to be the natural flow. As you kind of said, it's going to be supplementing, complementing, making us smarter, making it easier.
Agentforce has been a significant thriving factor for Salesforce in last year or so. And I know you guys recently launched Agentforce 2.0 as well in a fast track basis. Talk a little bit more about how does these mission interactions and the Agentforce are going to really amplify the potential of all the agent interactions. Specifically, if you could touch upon the public sector space, which is what we both are focused into it, that would be great.
A lot of the public sector is at the age or near the age of retirement. Only 7 to 8% of all public servants in the US, especially on the federal side, are under the age of 30. The younger generation doesn't want to go work for the government, public service. So how is a smaller workforce going to be able to handle the demand, the increasing demand? Like no other industry, everything is in a policy document. How you handle a certain situation, you look in the guidebook, you run it by policy. AI is very good at following policies. So how can we have agents being able to handle those type of use cases? And so that's where I see agents really being able to step in. Again, doing tasks that require handling a large amount of volume of data, remembering lots of policy information. Who can remember the US tax policy? When are things due? How do I file an extension? How about an agent? That's an easy question for an agent to ask. Well, why don't we allow humans to do things that they're really good at, which is really making decisions, deciphering, having empathy. Those are things that humans are really good at, and allow them to handle the exceptions instead of the mass volume of just call after call or text after text or email after email. Let the agents handle that and let the humans focus on the exceptions, making it more personable, making it more customer oriented so that government can connect to their citizens and to their residents.
If we talk about child welfare or welfare programs and social security programs, a lot of them have a huge amount of interaction, case workers, case management. So you're saying the Agentforce construct are going to make everybody's life easier for interacting as well as executing a transaction and a workflow and getting a case completed to that extent.
With Agentforce 2.0, we've continued to enhance it. And in these human services, as you said, there's a lot of interactions that need to happen. We always are trying to do more with less, right? And so these agencies don't have the people, don't have the call center staff, don't have the internal people to answer these questions. Why don't we able to have these individuals? You can have agents that can kind of be concierge, guiding people through these complex conversations and discussions, right? So it's going to be humans and agents working together to provide these services. So that's what I think is going to happen. And with Agentforce, it's going to allow you to staff and be able to handle the increased, I think, demand that we're going to see over the next couple of years, because people are going to expect that. They're going to expect the same things from government that they're going to see from in the commercial world, right?
Right.
Higher expectations. And so they're going to want that personalized service. They're going to want to make it easy and accessible to everyone.
The quick follow on through that is I understand a lot of the AI and agents are very task completion oriented, and humans are still holding the consequence management of it and insights and decisive management of it. In that case, do you think it will become a self-service mode, most of it, and only dealing with an exceptions for others to think about?
Again, large scale things like claims processing, things like renewals of passports. A lot of times you still have to have humans in there. And really what you're looking for is you're looking for the anomaly. Humans are going to really look at those exceptions, being able to make those decisions, and also areas where I'll say risk tolerance is very low.
Low, yeah.
And so there are definitely certain situations within public sector where people's lives are at stake, financial ruin, large impacts. Those are going to have to have human in the loop, right? Where there's things that aren't as high risk, but yet take a lot of resources. But things that require intervention, there's not a clear-cut answer. Requires more information. The agents can maybe supply that information, gather the evidence, but it still takes a human to be able to make those decisions, but they'll be able to do them faster.
Today, the innovation is being driven by consumer enterprise and private enterprise is producing products, but governing the deployment at scale is probably from a policy making and making sure the responsibility comes into picture is governed by government. So I want to pick your thoughts because our campaign is about AI for public good. And it is a question of responsible dimension because of the profoundness of capability which these technologies provide. Either in the Agentforce construct or otherwise, how do you see these new technologies going to aid to being responsible while they execute more and more transactions, whether it's an ethical behavior, whether it's a exception management, or making sure the context is understood to not do the negative side of the transaction?
Salesforce's, some of our core values is trust, and it's also equality. And, when we're developing this, we're also looking at ethics. Is it ethical, right? Is it responsible? Is it sustainable, right? And those are things at Salesforce that are core values. And even with AI, we continue as we develop it. It's our responsibility to do things in an ethical, sustainable, quality way with the highest level of trust. So as government, there needs to be regulations. There needs to be thought, because anything that could be used for good can also be used in very harmful ways.
Right.
So there needs to be thought behind that. And we are continually at Salesforce thinking about that, and we have ethical reviews. So even though we can do it, we don't always do that because there could be bias put into the models that would, for example, impact somebody's eligibility on providing services to them.
Mm-hmm.
We're also working with governments around the world to make sure that there are policies in place. Things like citations, knowing how the AI made that decision, very important. We need to be able to monitor that and track that. So being part of public sector, not only developing them, also do things around the government cloud. And those are all things around, having security and compliance. So I think it's, as policies come out, we need to be making sure that we're not putting things that are unethical in there or they don't promote equality. Because again, at Salesforce, those are our core values and our core values don't change.
I know we've been partnered with Salesforce for a long time, and we do a joint program executions, and I can sense that the technology is being influenced towards amplifying human life rather than just a mechanical life, and that's why it is. We work at a labor force, we work on human services model. How do you see partners like Infosys, who are more into the implementation of services and realizing the business value for a customer, and the product developers like you, to come together in the next wave of deploying AI or adoption of AI to really realize its purpose of amplification?
I think partnerships like our partnership with Infosys and Salesforce, really what we're driving to is a one common goal, is better outcomes for people. And those are definitely things that we are striving for. And so this is how partnerships, it's more than just technology. We're doing technology for a reason.
Right.
And that reason is to help people. And that's why, like my teams and at Salesforce, what we're trying to do, we think technology can do a lot of good, and we can provide better outcomes. And that's why we're so invested with partners like Infosys to make sure that we can deliver those outcomes and make people's lives better.
The entire endeavor is to really make human life easier and better potential, and that's what I connect the dots with. How we can be influencing the delivering a better digital society, which is less vulnerable and less adverse than the earlier society which we all developed into it, right? Thank you, Andrew. This has been a very insightful conversation, and great to know how the Agentforce is going to be the reckoning factor in the market and make an impact in public services and their interaction with citizens, and how it is going to be responsible, ethical, and deliver what its promises is. And I'm glad to know that this is going to be a responsible AI era, and the partnership with us is great. Great to have you here, and good interactions.
Thank you so much, Lax.